Hi, good evening, everybody. One thing I have to say, a lot of my fellow founders have presented some amazing ideas, which are very tangible problems. My problem might not be the most tangible. Nobody sitting in this room thinks about it every day. Trust me, before I started the company, I wouldn't have either. So why I say that, we're all sitting in a very nice upscale hotel in Andheri East. The problem with this hotel is that it sits on a decarbonization potential of about 20,000 kWh emission, situated in the city of Bombay, which sits on about 25 million tons of GHG emission. And India has about 2,200 million tons of GHG emissions. Now, why I say nobody sitting in this room is really thinking about it, because we go to all the climate events where the government says that, this is the decarbonization goal. And they say it, we read it, and then we move on with our lives. But since we didn't want to, we created a solution for it here. Let's talk about the problem first. I specifically said that, we are sitting in this really nice hotel. Why I said a hotel is, in this whole entire world, there is a commercial real estate which wastes about 65% of energy that is given to it on every year. And this is not an India problem, this is a problem everywhere. The reason is because they do not put any systems in place. A hotel still thinks about it, there are mandates that it has to comply to, but the moment you go to a smaller segment of a building, a small gala, a small retail format, they are not going to put any automation systems. So forget about being able to optimize energy. They end up wasting most of the energy which is given to them, the water which is given to them. And this is across hotel, hospital, offices, industries, factories, every commercial establishment. And then is 10% of the buildings. The likes of this hotel, which is called a grade A building in a commercial space, every grade A buildings is mandated to have certain centralized systems in place so that they do not put in so many wastages in the environment. The unfortunate part about these is that these are very age-old systems which were built around 30, 40 years back. Now, when you put a technology which is 40 years old in today's times, you're really not looking at optimization, you're looking at more wastages. So not only are you putting money into a very redundant system, you're wasting more money on energy, water bills, you are compromising indoor air qualities with these systems. And to address it, we at Enlite created a product called Know Your Building. We were very inspired by Know Your Customer. So basically, what are the details that you can get to know about your building? This is what Know Your Building looks like. Not something, again, that everybody thinks on a day-to-day. It is a very de-glam hardware and a very de-glam platform. And what does it do? When it goes and sits on top of any application inside your commercial building, for example, the AC that is working here, the lights which are on here, the elevator which is working, the water that you're getting in the bathrooms, the fire systems which are placed here, it then controls all of these systems without requirement of any man. The only thing that it requires is the machinery. This machinery, the hardware, has all the intelligence and the algorithms built inside it, and hence it's able to take decision making. It can tell how many people are sitting in a room and adjust the temperature accordingly. It can see how many people are sitting in this room and increasing the CO2 content, and hence, should there be fresh air inside it. So the difference between what we are trying to create and what our counterparts created in last 106 years is right here. My counterparts are, by the way, the Fortune 500 companies, and they have a few $100 billion of revenue year on year. That is, so these are the Davids, and that's the Goliath that we're trying to create. We are built for scale. These systems are wireless smart systems containing their own intelligence, which provide for remote monitoring of your buildings, your premise, every application inside those buildings. Also, we have built AI algorithms so that they can do forecasting and prediction of how a building would perform in the terms of its natural and manpower resources. This is what our dashboard looks like. The reason why we created our own hardware and dashboard was automation is considered to be very expensive. The reason why people talk sustainability and don't adopt sustainability of different kind is that there's always an aspect of being expensive. So we created everything in India. Today we hold about 5 patents on the hardware and the software that we've created. These are some real-time screenshots of what we do. We're able to track sustainability inside a building. We're able to manage all the portfolios remotely over the cloud, various different buildings, what is happening there, what is the kind of energy, water, and other usages that has been happening. Again, you can also remotely control everything. Sitting in US, you could control a building. In Pune, you could turn things on and off. There are 3 parts to know your building: monitor, manage, and monetize. Monitor essentially is for different compliances, for your fire, security systems, different systems like UPS, DGs. Again, terms that we don't think about every day, but the reason why we have such a nice power backup in Bombay is because everything just gets automatically done in all our residential buildings because of these systems. In fact, we have a lot of implementations across a lot of residential buildings as well. Also, we control everything which wastes energy, like plumbing, HVAC lighting, through the devices that we've created. More than a few reasons why somebody should be choosing it. And since we build our own hardware and software, we are the most compliant in the industry right now. Also, this is the work that we do, because I think eventually it's important to show what we've done. The mid image that you see, once that you go to the international airport from there, the biggest hotel, a 5-star hotel of Bombay is coming up, 750-room property by Accor Group, Fairmount, where our building automation systems are going. Also, a large tech park of Prestige Group in Bangalore, the tallest commercial tower of Pune. Everything is working today on Know Your Building. Some of the brands that we work with, and quickly the business model. So for any new building, we do a CAPEX business model with recurring AMC costs, and for any building which is existing, we do Enlite Empower program, which is essentially a subscription of automation. So you choose what you want to automate, and we deliver a package accordingly to that. As I said, the 10% of the building own practically 90% of the market in the terms of revenue. The 90% of the solutions which are there are really, really small and fragmented. We are trying to give a comprehensive solution. We hold 4 patents today. This is a Make in India product. This is what a revenue journey looks like. So we are going to finish this year by touching about 15 crores. The next financial year, by the way, we are a bootstrapped company. We've never raised any external funds. Yeah. This year, it looked like that we'll be touching 50 crores, but we'll be probably ending the year by 100 crores because we've already had, we've built a pipeline for 50 already, and we already have LOIs for it. Thank you. Thank you. So few awards that we've got, few places that we've been featured in. We are about 7 years old now, not very new. We built the product for 5 years, so whatever revenue we've done is in last 1.5 years only. Largely, we are 75 odd people, partnered with Google and Qualcomm for our hardware and software. This is me and my co-founder. So I've been also a founding member of OYO and Momsco before this, and my co-founder, a Harvard alum, and also serial entrepreneur before Enlite. Our presence, and quickly I just wanted to show what it looks like in an office space. So this is an office space where we've put our dashboards, where a person can now this time see the tangible. And I don't have to talk about it, so when somebody walks into a Radisson, they can see. Okay, what does the solution do for me? So we're trying to move the solution from the basement to the boardroom, because basement is actually where this solution of automation is largely placed. And the last slide is we are developing the industry's first AI-generated system for buildings, which means you will be able to predict how will a building perform 5 years from now, 2 years from now, 10 years from now. This could be the temperature, this could be your energy consumption, and hence this is how we will be monitoring it or managing it. We've already deployed the solution in Google's office now. So while this is made, this is deployed. I would still say it's in beta, but towards this year end, we should be seeing more of it at a lot of offices, hotels, and hospitals. So that's largely about us. Thank you so much for your patient listening.
So you said you have both hardware, software.
Yes. So when we built out the hardware, this was the first question. There were two questions actually. In India, you have to make something which is very, very cost sensitive. And when I will go to a building to integrate, they might be having machinery which is very old. So you should be using something which is, one should be using something which can be able to universally integrate it. And that's why we didn't go on a path of a company like a Honeywell or Siemens that make 25 different devices. Make one device, try to integrate everything in it. So building only works on certain communication methods, which in building technologies are called protocols. And then it could be any protocol in a building. So what we decided to do is keep structures and be able to read each of that protocol into a single hardware, because it helps us get cost optimized a lot. And today we are about 40% cheaper than our competition today, regardless of the building size. So that's what we do. With a single controller, be able to get any machine's data. We've got machines' data which are even 35 years old.
So do you have sensors to get the...
Yes. So the devices that we have, they all have sensors on it. And they have multiple types of sensors, from indoor air quality sensors to occupancy sensors. So one part of it is the sensor, which is the input. The output is essentially its memory. So it has algorithms inside its memory. And then the machine then generates the output, which means our controller, through the sensor data, understanding the input, generates the output by whatever algorithm is on it. Honestly, I would say we're not very sure right now. So every year we look for funds. And since we are bootstrapped, we're also like, this is very hard-earned money that we put into it. Do we really want to give away equity? So the year always starts with, this year we'll be definitely raising funds. And fortunately, we've done a little well. So what we are looking at right now, I would say, is more of working capital, because we are doing really large projects. The projects, some of them that we're doing, individual projects come up to be 2 crores, 4 crores each, which require a lot of money to be parked in them. So it's initiation with certain banks that we've started doing now, if they could help us, or different other agencies with the working capital for that. Perfect. Thank you, everybody.